A buzzing sound filled the air, which vibrated rhythmically. I sensed inside and out, a terrible presence was about to be born deep in the prison. The aura was bone-chilling cold, like eternal ice, yet also like the ominous warning before a volcanic eruption, extremely unsettling. The little fox and lightning bamboo sensed it too. Could my earlier worry have come true? Did she really lose control during cultivation, going mad? Instinctively, I wanted to find her, maybe I could still help. But there was no time. I quickly pulled out a formation flag and cast a spell to have it absorb the nearby elemental energies. This is my last resort. This battle cannot be avoided, and I can't help you now. I only hope this flag can pull you back if you go mad during cultivation, preserving a shred of sanity. I hope your demonic art reaches great heights, but that you don't lose your true self. Go! I blew on the flag, sending it flying deeper into the prison. At that moment, I sensed a cold, unfamiliar gaze cutting across space from the Death Valley far away, this time added with a sense of icy estrangement. It seemed she was truly on the verge of madness. I sighed. Who exactly are you worrying about? Just then, the alert little fox noticed I had awakened and called out excitedly, "Daddy." I nodded in response, Lightning Bamboo also relaxed and asked, "Sir, your state feels different. How should we open the prison gate?" I answered, "Those inside the prison will help me." I packed up the magical pills on the ground. They weren't for me now, but the little fox could use them after all, she had become a demon too. As for the magical artifacts, I hadn't intended to pick them up, but since there were many prisoners outside, I might as well give them those to use. "Daddy, what should we do with her?" the little fox asked, pointing at the unconscious demon consort. "Sir, should we capture her as leverage to threaten the demon emperor?" Lightning Bamboo suggested. I shook my head. Hostages work in the immortal realm, not here in the demon realm. Even if you killed the demon emperor's consort right before his eyes and slaughtered his entire harem, he wouldn't so much as bat an eye. He could kill his master, women were nothing to him. So bringing along the demon consort was useless. She carried my demonic energy within her, her life and death were in my control. "Let's go," I said, and the thunderstrike bamboo immediately transformed back into sword form. The little fox smartly twirled her big eyes, suddenly having an idea. "Daddy, I think this." She jumped to my ear and pointed at the unconscious demon consort, whispering something. My eyes immediately lit up. "All right, let's do it your way." I agreed with a smile, feeling relieved. The little fox had grown wiser, she knew how to strategize now. It seemed that our trip to the demon realm had helped her mature a lot. Having my approval, she excitedly squinted her eyes. "Thank you, Daddy." She forcibly hoisted the demon consort up. The demon consort was tall, and the little fox carried her slender waist, the consort's long legs and arms hung down to the ground. Though it looked strenuous, she made it seem effortless. I had gotten used to her calling me that it wasn't bad taking in a goddaughter. I jumped onto the thunderstrike bamboo sword, and the little fox, carrying the demon consort, jumped on too, heading straight for the prison gate. The prisoners couldn't wait any longer, their eyes popped wide open, already restless. Those 20 minutes had been pure torment for them. "He's here. Finally. What on earth was he doing earlier? His aura seems different, did he learn some new cultivation technique?" "Only 20 minutes, don't get your hopes up. There's no way he could have cultivated something that fast." The moment I appeared, the prison erupted again. This time, nearly 800 pairs of eyes fixed on me. In just 20 minutes, 2/3 of the inmates seemed to have come to a realization, ready to fight to the death. For me, this was a great sign. I slammed all my demon weapons onto the ground with a loud bang. The prisoners grew even more excited. "Demon weapons? Hurry up and let us out." They were losing their patience. I glared toward the depths of the prison. To open the doors, I still needed her, the one who cast the original spell. Brute force wouldn't open those gates. 10 seconds passed with no response. The prisoners grew agitated. "Hurry up. Didn't you say you'd free us after 20 minutes? I can't wait another second. Open the doors now." Their urging turned frantic, emotions spiraling out of control. My eyes flickered with uncertainty. She could let us in easily, but since the doors weren't opening now, it meant she was facing difficulties herself. The air was thick and oppressive, it was clear she had lost control of her magic. She was trapped and couldn't cast remotely. I grew anxious, wasn't the formation banner supposed to help? Just as my heart pounded in desperation, suddenly, click click, one cell door opened, then another, a third, until all the gates slid open in quick succession. The prisoners froze, their expressions shifting from rage to joy, and finally to wild frenzy. They were like feral tigers unleashed. "Ah, I'm finally free. 3,000 years, I'm out of my cell at last." Their mad laughter filled the prison. More and more prisoners poured out. Within moments over 100 scattered wildly. The place had become a den of lunatics. But their madness wasn't as fierce as mine. In less than a minute, their numbers rose past 300. Some hesitated, others watched cautiously. I shouted loudly, "Demon weapons are limited. If you want them, come get them fast." Boom! Before I finished, hundreds of prisoners lunged like starving wolves, bloodthirsty and brutal. I only had a few dozen demon weapons, not nearly enough for all. Within 10 seconds, 6 had died fighting over them. The fiercer they were, the more pleased I felt. It was worth every effort to free them. What was more alarming was that some eyed me greedily, one even aimed to swallow me whole. Keeping a straight face, I struck back with a punch. Boom! His skull exploded into fragments, blood spraying as he collapsed. Everyone was stunned, casting shocked glances my way. I believe he's the one who can trap the demon emperor. The murmurs broke out among the prisoners. Let's go. We're out of the prison. I commanded calmly, my fist commanding respect. The thunderstrike bamboo instantly lifted me into the air. I led the charge, hundreds of prisoners followed, surging powerfully toward the exit. Like an unstoppable army. These prisoners were formidable beasts starved and wild for thousands of years. Those still inside saw everyone else leaving, stomping in frustration, biting their teeth as they took flight. Out of over 1,000 prisoners, less than 100 remained huddled in their cells, too scared to come out. That was more than enough. We reached the prison gates, click click, the door slowly creaked open, a sliver of light cutting through the crack. The prisoners cheered excitedly, but suddenly a ripping roar shattered the atmosphere. Next came deafening thunder, some demon weapon had been destroyed. Everyone froze, stunned, and before they could react, a terrifying and furious aura surged uncontrollably from somewhere nearby. All the prisoners were stunned, many turning pale. Who is that? Who else? The demon emperor has broken free. The demon emperor is here. My eyes flickered. I hadn't expected the demon emperor to escape even faster than I anticipated. The 9-star imprisonment formation I specially designed for him was broken so quickly. It's only been an hour. This man's power is terrifying. My mouth was dry, my throat parched. Looks like today we're in for a bloody battle. Long Shiba, today you've angered me. I will rip out your soul and tear you limb from limb. Oomph, you actually hid in the sky prison? From now on, your life ticks away by the second. I'm coming for your life. A roar erupted, followed by a thunderous rumble shaking the heavens like a fighter jet taking off. The entire demon realm trembled. The sound reached all the prisoners, who were shocked and pale. Some slumped to the ground, others fled back to their cells. Even I felt a numbness creeping up my scalp. Little Fox looked pale but showed no fear. Since battle is inevitable, then so be it. Click. The sky prison gates slowly creaked open. The prisoners couldn't wait, they surged out like soaring hawks, desperate to escape. They all knew the only hope was to flee before the demon emperor arrived. One after another, 2, 3, then a whole swarm scrambled forward in a mad rush. More and more burst through the gate, and others couldn't sit still any longer. Although they'd just been terrified by the demon emperor's aura, they now realized there was no retreat. I watched as over 700 escaped, the space around me emptied. Just as I was about to step out, the sky prison gate suddenly slammed shut. Was it the women inside training who didn't want me to leave? I turned to look. Men can hide, but I, Long Shiba, don't have that kind of cowardice. Even if I die, I'll do so with strength and defiance. If you, Demon Emperor, dare to come, then I dare to fight. You've done enough to help me. Quickly stabilize your mind and cultivate, or you'll fall into madness. I said. The air suddenly chilled. Lei Jiju, let's go. I shouted. Lei Jiju took me swiftly out of the sky prison. Just before exiting, I asked Little Fox if she was afraid. She said firmly, no. That look of unwavering determination. I was deeply moved. Sir, I don't regret being your magical weapon. Today, we fight to the end. Lei Jiju said as well. With her, I'm fearless. We quickly flew out of the prison, landing steadily near the gate. Outside, the escaped prisoners scattered in all directions. Half an hour ago, the demon immortals chasing me were still here, stunned beyond belief. They couldn't fathom so many prisoners escaping successfully at once. They immediately began casting spells to recapture them, plunging the scene into chaos. I knew the prisoners wouldn't get far. If I was letting them out, I needed to prepare to drain the Demon Emperor's energy for myself. It's a fair trade, I'm not forcing them. I fixed my gaze on the Demon Emperor's palace direction when suddenly a scream pierced the distance. The farthest prisoner swelled up like a balloon and exploded, blood and flesh flying everywhere. A stench of blood filled the air. I was shocked. The demon emperor arrived too fast. This speed made me grateful I hadn't chosen to run earlier. Had I frantically fled half an hour ago, my energy would have been depleted. Eventually, the demon emperor would still have caught up. With damaged energy, how could I have fought him? Now, conserving strength was the only way forward. The demon immortals were stunned. The scattered prisoners were frozen with terror. Demon emperor's here, run, a prisoner shouted. Then another exploded, blood mist soaring. Killing from a distance so effortlessly over such a range, this power was terrifying. Third, fourth. In less than half a minute, 43 prisoners, unable to resist, blew up one by one. Those who died were the ones who had run the farthest. The prisoners' faces drained of color, still trying to escape. But boom, boom, boom. Another 13 exploded. Now the fleeing prisoners were petrified, no one dared move, terrified they'd be next. They stared at the demon emperor's palace in horror, then glanced back at me, panic tearing through them. Run! What are you standing there for? Someone's breaking out, we make a break for it, someone tried to take charge. Who locked in the sky prison wasn't smart. Still, 3 desperately tried to dash out. The next second, boom, boom, boom. 3 more blew apart, blood and guts everywhere. Everyone's face turned pale. Who would dare attempt to escape now? Sensible prisoners hurried back, gathering around me, some even rushing back into the sky prison. They glared fiercely at me. When you let us out, you didn't say the demon emperor would arrive so fast. We didn't even get a chance to run. You're the one who put us in danger. I'm going to kill you right now. 700 or 800 eyes burned with fury, as if they'd swallow me whole. I replied coldly, this is a fair deal. I opened the gates, but it was your own choice. No one forced you. Then why didn't you warn us the demon emperor would show up instantly, they yelled. I retorted, you knew the dungeon was close to the demon emperor, yet you still clung to hope. Now it's just that you haven't managed to escape yet. If you willingly came out, you must bear the consequences. You want freedom but fear death, there's no such lucky deal. You weren't this cowardly when you first left the dungeon. Calm down. I'm the one holding the demon emperor back, what are you afraid of? At my words, everyone fell silent. There's only one way now, fight the demon emperor with me if you want to survive. They gritted their teeth in despair, if we're going to die, then we'll go all out. We haven't even faced the demon emperor yet. Let's try today. Soon, the prisoners regained their ferocity, understanding that only by working together could they have a chance. In the distance, the wind howled, black clouds rolled in like a flood of monsters blotting out the sky. Atop the clouds stood the demon emperor, radiating killing intent. He's coming. I stared him down, ready for a life or death battle. The black clouds swirled with imposing momentum. Nearby, the demon immortals waited silently. Only 10 miles away, he arrived in less than 30 seconds, a speed far surpassing thunderstrike bamboo. The demon emperor stopped 100 meters away, the void trembled, and the black clouds brought endless dread. All the demon immortals shouted in unison, welcome the demon emperor. Their voices thundered, making the atmosphere solemn. The demon emperor's gaze locked onto me like the ruler of a realm. Invisible blades clashed in the void, tension everywhere. But I caught an opportunity. He took only an hour to break through the 9-star restriction formation I set up fast, but it drained his energy. His aura had weakened slightly compared to before I detected it. If I led 700 prisoners to strike simultaneously, we could keep draining his energy and gain an edge for the upcoming battle. Though their faces were pale, the prisoners showed a determination to die trying. Thunderstrike bamboo flew into my hand, ready to fight alongside me. We merged our swords and spirits, preparing to confront the demon emperor. The little fox quietly stayed aside, wise enough to know she couldn't help at her current cultivation. The demon emperor's gaze shifted from me, scanning all the prisoners beside me like looking at corpses. Then, confusion flashed in his eyes before he locked onto the dungeon gate, frowning. Tell me, who let you out? The demon emperor asked darkly. The prisoners stammered, no one daring to speak. Speak! The demon emperor thundered, his voice like a crash of lightning. Instead, the prisoners grew enraged, going wild with no fear of the demon emperor anymore. No one responded. Was it you? Or you? Or you? The demon emperor pointed at them one by one, finally stopping at me. That's right, me. I answered coldly. You? You couldn't open the dungeon gate even given 100 years. The demon emperor shook his head, still staring at the prison, clearly refusing to believe I was the one who freed them. Then he turned, Great Spirit Demon Immortal, how did you guard the dungeon? What exactly happened inside? No one answered. I suspected the guard fled during the chaos. The demon emperor's face darkened. At that moment, the little fox carried the unconscious demon consort, who stirred awake, rubbed her eyes, saw the demon emperor, and exclaimed happily, "Demon emperor, you've finally come. I've suffered so much waiting. Save me quickly." I grabbed the demon consort. "Demon emperor, here's your woman back. I'll trade, let me exchange her to spare the saintess." I stared at the demon emperor and declared. The demon emperor glanced coldly at the demon consort, expressionless. "I'll release your woman first to show my sincerity." I loosened my grip and released her. The demon consort was shocked, unable to believe my swift action. She hurriedly flew toward the demon emperor. The little fox looked nervous while I squinted, watching the demon consort's chest. All the demon immortals stared at her. She was only 5 meters from the demon emperor, whose face remained emotionless. "Demon emperor, he tormented me so cruelly. Please help kill him. Dismember him into pieces." The demon consort wailed pitifully. She looked at me as if she wanted to tear me apart. Suddenly, the demon consort froze mid-air. She was stunned, and all the demon immortals were taken aback. Even I changed expression. The demon emperor had cast his immobilization technique. "Little fox, aren't you too far away?" she asked anxiously. I frowned. Freeing the demon consort wasn't about bargaining. I wasn't soft-hearted, it was the little fox's idea. Let the demon consort get close to the demon emperor, so I could channel the demonic energy in her body into the demon emperor's heart. If successful, the demon emperor would be at my mercy. But now it looked unlikely. 5 meters away, even if she cast spells, the demon emperor could block them instantly. "Demon emperor, I can't move, you scared me," the demon consort panicked. The demon emperor replied coldly, "My woman, no matter who's touched her, I will never accept it. I haven't been touched by him, I only have eyes for you, demon emperor." The demon consort was desperate. "Don't worry, I will avenge you." The demon emperor had just spoken when his hand suddenly opened. His gaze was icy as frost. The demon consort screamed as her body suddenly swelled, exploding with a boom, scattering blood and flesh everywhere. Blood rain fell to the ground, limbs scattered everywhere. The demon emperor's face was expressionless. The demon consort was killed with a single move by the demon emperor. The demon immortals were stunned, some feeling heartbroken. The prisoners were shocked, even I was taken aback. The prison gates immediately fell into silence. I acted quickly, controlling the demonic spirit energy inside the demon consort's body, bursting out in lightning fast, crossing 5 meters, aiming to pierce the demon emperor's heart. But in the next moment, the demon emperor's hand moved with terrifying speed and strength, firmly capturing the demonic spirit energy. The demon immortals were stunned. The prisoners were also amazed, all looking toward me. The demon emperor stared coldly at me, his voice thunderous and shaking the void. "I knew you had ill intentions. Still trying the same old trick? Do you think I have no defenses? To use such low and dirty tricks twice? You deserve to die. I'll kill you right now. You, come here. Prepare to die." The demon emperor's fierce expression terrified everyone. I locked eyes with the demon emperor. Boom! The demon emperor's hand gripping my demonic spirit energy suddenly burst into black flames. Obviously, he knew this demonic spirit energy was no ordinary energy and wanted to destroy it personally. But my demonic spirit energy wasn't so easily destroyed. Even inexperienced spirit energy could leave the owner of the golden bell helpless, let alone this demonic spirit energy refined through demonic thunder. Indestructible. How could it fear demonic fire? Ha! The demon emperor furrowed his brows and loosened his grip slightly. The demonic spirit energy writhed fiercely like a headless snake, escaping halfway. The demon emperor was unwilling and intensified the flames. The temperature within 10 miles soared by hundreds of degrees. But the demonic spirit energy remained unscathed, its color unchanged. The demon emperor's face darkened. "Never thought such rubbish could cultivate this kind of demonic energy. This energy is wasted on you. I'll take it for myself first." He began casting a spell to seize control of my demonic spirit energy. But my demonic spirit energy was already synced with my will. Unless I died, no one could forcibly take it. I quickly cast a spell from afar. The demonic spirit energy struggled harder but was still tightly held by the demon emperor. His strength was terrifying. In a moment of desperation, I had an idea. I wrapped the emerging tendril of demonic spirit energy around one of the demon emperor's fingers. His face changed dramatically. He was about to let go but was too late. All 5 fingers were tightly entwined. Even with magic, he couldn't break free. The demon emperor's expression turned grim and terrifying. The demon immortals were shocked. What kind of demonic energy is this? How is it so tough? I've never seen anything like it. Seeing the demon emperor caught off guard by my ambush, the demon immortals were amazed. I was ecstatic inside. The fox's plan had succeeded. This battle bolstered my confidence. The demon emperor has been ambushed and can't use one hand. If you don't strike now, when will you? I scanned the 700 prisoners around me, my voice shaking the sky. The prisoners were shocked, but their morale soared. Demon emperor, we've been imprisoned too long. Today, we fight you to the end. Charge! The 700 prisoners surged toward the demon emperor. My eyes flickered. 700 people, surely we could wound him somehow. I gripped my thunderstrike bamboo sword and charged forward too. Long 18, you've truly angered me. With such weak moves, you think you can hurt me? You're dreaming. The demon emperor glared at me, and the sky around us turned dark. He was the merciless demon emperor manifest. Facing the 700 prisoners, the demon emperor slammed out a palm. Smack! 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 The first 50 prisoners' bodies instantly grotesquely deformed and exploded. One strike killed 50 people. All the demon immortals were stunned. The prisoners were dumbfounded. You lot are useless. I have spared your lives before, yet you dare move against me? How ungrateful. Since you're so reckless, I'll toy with you all first before killing Long 18. All of you, die. In an instant, the demon emperor stepped down from the black clouds, demonic energy swirling. More than 600 prisoners suddenly realized they were stuck in quicksand, their charge speed dropping by 95%. I was shocked. The demon emperor had immobilized over 600 people at once. I can't move. Me neither. What's going on? The prisoners struggled wildly. The demon emperor towered above them like a god. Without making a move, he crushed down with each step. Though the foot wasn't big and didn't land on heads, each stomp was accompanied by screams. With every step, at least 30 people were instantly crushed to pulp. The ground was marked with deep footprints, 20 meters long. After 10 steps, over half were dead or wounded, blood and flesh splattered everywhere. Screams of agony filled the air. Half of the prisoners' eyes were wide open, filled with shock, they couldn't even react. I was just as stunned, my eyes almost popping out. I knew the demon emperor was powerful, but I didn't expect him to be this terrifying. My original plan was to use 700 people to drain his energy, even just a little bit. But now, it was clear the plan had failed. Even if these prisoners were tortured for 1,000 years until their energy ran out, the demon emperor crushed them effortlessly. In his eyes, they weren't even worth as much as ants. The remaining prisoners were completely stunned. The demon emperor stomped wildly like a madman, death and injury unstoppable. But about 100 of them had bloodshot eyes, glare fixed on the demon emperor. You've gone too far, stepping on us? Bring it on. I was once a big shot in the demon realm, there's no way I'll be stomped to death. Bring it on. One man gathered all his wrath and energy, launching a deadly strike. A beam of demonic light surged toward the demon emperor. Immediately, the other prisoners all attacked with full force. Over 100 beams of demonic light shot into the sky. A single beam was probably insignificant, but together, their momentum was overwhelming. Every demon immortal was shocked. In an instant, over 100 beams surrounded the demon emperor. Boom! The deafening sound lasted over 10 seconds. The prisoners turned pale and looked up at the sky. The next moment, all the beams vanished and the demon emperor was completely unharmed. I was stunned. After exerting so much effort to unleash 700 prisoners, not even a fraction of his energy was drained? The demon emperor snarled, "Trash! Alive and wasting your strength, die!" He lifted his foot and stomped down from the air. Boom! The prisoners didn't have time to show their shocked faces before their bodies instantly twisted and exploded into puddles of blood and water. All 700 prisoners were dead. Blood and flesh stained the ground, huge footprints marked the earth, rivers of blood flowed, and the stench was overwhelming. The demon emperor's gaze swept to me, a cruel smile spreading across his lips. The trash are all dead. Now it's your turn, Long Sheba. Facing the demon emperor's fierce stare, I adjusted my mindset. I stared back at him. No, there was no way he hadn't lost any energy. Judging by his expression, killing those 700 prisoners must have cost him about 10% of his energy, plus from breaking my formation earlier, around 30% total. My plan worked. He was also still entangled by the demon chi on one hand, a disadvantage for him. I could still fight him. I was confident I could kill him. I would never let him recover. I glanced down at my Thunderstrike bamboo sword. Thunderstrike bamboo, wait for the chance. Though the Thunderstrike bamboo was a celestial artifact, its rank was limited. Without my coordination, the chance of victory was slim. Good. The Thunderstrike bamboo vanished in an instant. I adjusted my stance, executing the 10-step killing technique, dashing forward quickly. Trying to fight me? You won't get within 10 meters, die. I'll torment you in 1,000 ways. Don't let me get bored. The Demon Emperor grinned wickedly, eyes narrowing on me. Suddenly, the binding power of the Demon Emperor's palace locked over me again. The air tightened, I couldn't move. All the demon immortals were surprised, then burst into laughter. The Demon Emperor is incredible. When he's serious, no one stands a chance, not even newly ascended demon immortals. Look, he hasn't even attacked and you're already frozen. Weak. Not even able to withstand one move, pathetic. The Demon Emperor's divine skills are peerless. No match in the 3 realms. The crowd cheered. The Demon Emperor hovered above me, his soul clearly visible. Looking down arrogantly, he smiled and said, I've practiced this technique but never used it on anyone. You should feel honored. Without your sneak attack, you can't even block a move? What a disappointment. Won't you kneel? Kneel and accept death. The Demon Emperor raised his foot to stomp. The force was crushing, like Mount Tai weighing down. He wanted to break my legs, forcing me to kneel before him and die. I was waiting for this moment. Instantly, I broke free from his immobilizing technique. While still under its effect, I moved freely, leapt up, and punched the Demon Emperor. His pupils contracted sharply, astonished. You can move even under my immobilizing technique? The demon immortals froze in disbelief. Did we see that correctly? He actually moved? Before in the Demon Emperor's palace, he couldn't move. Was it an act? Confusion swirled in their minds. I sneered, when you used that immobilizing technique before, I could actually move already. You didn't know, did you? My fist was closing in on the Demon Emperor. His face darkened, cold light flickering in his eyes. Could it be you also understand immobilizing techniques? Who taught you? Speak. Boom. I unleashed the strongest strike of my indestructible demonic art. The Demon Emperor casually blocked my punch with his palm. He frowned. You clearly aren't stronger than me, how can you block that? Did you train some body-strengthening cultivation? His eyes flickered fiercely as he slammed out a palm. Boom! I was knocked back 20 meters, stabilizing myself. I looked down at my fist, it was marked red. Tightness seized my heart. Compared to the Demon Emperor, my physical body was nowhere near his level. I took a deep breath and began channeling my demonic demon chi. The Demon Emperor said coldly, no one can withstand a single strike from me, yet you're still alive. That's unusual. The more I look at you, the more familiar you seem. He advanced step by step, his gaze filled with ruthless intent. Could he have guessed that I cultivated the indestructible demon art? I refused to sit idly and wait for death. I swung my fist again, aftershock upon aftershock, but the Demon Emperor blocked every strike. Another palm strike came crashing down. I was flung backward, crashing into a rock. Pain surged through me, the backs of my fists covered in red welts. The Demon Emperor roared angrily, there are few in the demon realm who can survive 2 strikes from me. Whose technique did you learn? Speak. His face twisted like an enraged beast. That indestructible demon art was the technique his Empress Master intended to pass down to him, but he never got the chance to learn it. Now, seeing me practicing his master's art, he was utterly broken. Speak. He swiftly appeared before me, his expression savage and demanding. I fixed my gaze on him and continued throwing punches. The Demon Emperor grew even more agitated. This is my technique. Only I have the right to cultivate it. How do you dare? His roar shook the sky, and the prison trembled violently. My heart tightened as I suddenly sensed a disturbance deep within the prison. Before I could react, the Demon Emperor had reached the breaking point. It seemed he had once wanted to learn the indestructible demon art, but as his master hadn't yet taught him, he ended up killing her first. Did he have no remorse at all? I realized that today, my death was almost certain. From our recent clash, the gap between us was immense. I knew only 2 moves might work. First, the immobilization technique. I condensed the yang energy at my fingertips. My internal yang energy was now 5 times stronger than before. Once unleashed, this technique could surely shake the Demon Emperor, but only if I struck at the perfect moment, or there would be no second chance. Second, the demonic aura. If I could ensnare the Demon Emperor with a chain of demonic energy, like I did against the Golden Bell's master, perhaps I could turn the tide. With a plan in mind, I stopped wasting energy and immediately created distance between us. At the same time, I enveloped my body with demonic aura, preparing to withstand his Demon Emperor physique. Seeing me retreat, the Demon Emperor took quick strides forward. The distance was too close to unleash immobilization. I had no choice but to endure. I activated the 10 steps killing method, desperately trying to create space. But the Demon Emperor's speed far surpassed mine. Before long, he closed in again. He raised his hand and snapped it down like swatting a fly. It looked effortless, yet a sharp whooshing sound cut through the air, and the power was terrifying. After crushing those prisoners just now, he was now treating me like a fly. The insult was unbearable. I dodged, fury surging through me. My internal yang energy blazed hot, my fingers burned intensely. The Demon Emperor taunted, "You've been secretly practicing the indestructible demon art? Why not use it? Why run? You worthless weakling, return the indestructible demon art that belongs to me." I dodged frantically, searching for an opening. But the Demon Emperor pressed in tightly, leaving no escape. When he struck again, I had nowhere to evade and could only take the blow. Boom! I was sent flying, crashing heavily onto the ground, digging a pit. Pain nearly made me spit blood, my arm glowed red like fire. My eyes flickered with thought, if only I had enough demon pills in time to imprint the demon art, I wouldn't be in such a sorry state. The Demon Emperor sneered, "You newly ascended trash dare to challenge me? That was only a tenth of my power." Suddenly, he charged. The wind howled, my eyelids twitched as he slammed down again. I took a deep breath and unleashed the indestructible demon art, throwing a punch. Smack! A terrifying shockwave of energy surged. Boom! A sonic blast roared, I was struck back again, spitting blood. Shock gripped my heart. Nearby, the demon immortals laughed heartily. Who can withstand even one strike from the Demon Emperor? If he wanted you dead, you'd be dead already. They were mocking me. I wiped the blood from my lips, yang energy swirling as I searched for a chance. Just as I stared at him, the Demon Emperor sneered and suddenly vanished. I was stunned. No warning, just gone. Cold sweat dripped down my back. From experience, the next second, he would reappear for a sneak attack. Normally, I should teleport to dodge, but I chose to endure and wait for the right moment. Sure enough, a gust of wind blew before me. I kept my eyes locked on him, I hadn't lifted my hand yet when, boom! A sharp pain exploded in my chest. A single finger pierced deep into my heart. Pain. Excruciating pain. Shock overwhelmed me. The Demon Emperor reappeared gracefully, laughing, "Indestructible demon art? Are you an idiot or a genius? Those before you all suffered because of it, yet you still learn her technique?" His face twisted with mockery, laughing wildly and freely. "She perfected it, but I still killed her. You think you can stop me?" I fixed my gaze tightly on him. The indestructible demon art was the most mysterious technique. Reaching this level was all thanks to it. But what I lacked was time. Time was the real key. The Demon Emperor smiled coldly, "I can take you down with just one finger. Consider that, Your Honor. Now let me see how tough your body really is." He thrust forcefully, blood flowing. The stabbing pain pierced deeper bit by bit, as intense as the first time. The pain nearly made me pass out. But I burst out laughing. This guy's crazy, right? His head must have been cracked just now. The demon immortals, stunned at first, then burst into laughter. The Demon Emperor's lips curled into a sneer. "I came close to you just to see what cards you had up your sleeve. Finally revealing them now? But you think you can trap me using the demonic energy inside you?" He laughed lightly, as if this were all a joke. I couldn't help myself, my fingers darted toward the Demon Emperor's pressure point. As fast as lightning. One of his hands was entangled by my demonic spirit energy, the other still jabbed into my chest, his guard wide open. The perfect moment. But the next instant, I was shocked. My fingers were only an inch from the Demon Emperor, yet that force blocked me, refusing to let me move closer. I froze. The long-awaited chance was so easily thwarted? What are you trying to do? I've told you you're not qualified to touch me. That's my protective aura. The Demon Emperor sneered contemptuously. At that moment, my eyes turned blood red. His expression changed sharply, and I growled low, unleashing all my strength. My fingers snapped forcefully, the broken tip carrying my yang energy, shooting like an arrow toward his pressure point. Bang! Though his protective aura was tough, my body, tempered by the indestructible demon art, was remarkably resilient. The broken finger became a sharp weapon. The Demon Emperor was stunned. The demon immortals gasped, "Is he crazy? Using his own finger as a weapon? Madman, truly mad." Their faces turned pale, goosebumps rose all over them. "I told you, I'm a madman," I shouted. Seizing the moment the Demon Emperor lowered his head, the demonic spirit energy inside me burst out. Transforming into an invincible chain of demonic energy, it smashed his head. Just half a second, the opportunity was within reach. The Demon Emperor was slightly taken aback and staggered back 4 steps. His face changed rapidly, his defense broken. Immobility technique? You actually know it? I struck again. Boom! The Demon Emperor retreated another 5 steps. The demon immortals were shocked. I hammered a third time, no time to waste, determined to kill him. Boom! He fell back again. But his head was somehow unscathed. I was stunned. My demonic energy chains were invincible. Why didn't they finish him? Through gritted teeth, I tried to bind him with the chains, only to be deflected by a flash of movement, and then a punch struck my chest. A burst of pain hit me. I looked down to see a deep dent, like a fist print, on my chest. Boom! I flew back hard, landing amidst scattered soil, coughing up blood. My heart was nearly shattered. Cough, cough, I coughed, struggling to stand through the pain. The Demon Emperor advanced step by step. Used up all your tricks? Suddenly, his brow furrowed. He bent down and picked out the broken finger stuck in him, disdainfully pulling it free. My heart churned. I had used every ounce of my strength and still couldn't hurt him? Could it be that Long Shiba was going to die in the demon realm? I wasn't willing to accept that. Snap! The Demon Emperor crushed my broken finger. Your immobility technique is genuine, but far from enough. I'm done playing. Now, I'll send you to your death. The next moment, I was blasted away again. I slammed against a rock that shattered, falling down and spewing blood like a fountain. The blood was bright red, tinged with gold. My whole body ached as if about to implode. I just wanted to collapse. Repeated brutal hits pounding my heart, searing pain pressing in, as if my heart would split apart. A bitter smile crossed my lips as I realized the Demon Emperor still hadn't used any magical weapons. Daddy, came the cry of the little fox. The demon immortals sneered coldly. Coughing, I forced myself up. I couldn't die, not now. I had to fight. Staggering, I knew my immobility technique was spent, my yang energy drained. But my demonic spirit energy still remained. I could use it to trap the Demon Emperor. If I succeeded, the tide would surely turn. I swung the chains, but the Demon Emperor calmly approached step by step, fearless. I was enveloped in demonic energy, charging at him actively. But he never gave me a chance to get close. With a wave of his hand, a fierce wind rushed at me. I struggled in the gale, barely able to move, forced to wait for him to come closer. I stared at the Demon Emperor. He sneered, and just as he stepped forward, he vanished. I didn't wait, moved again. Trying to run? Not that easy. The Demon Emperor taunted. A fist suddenly appeared on my chest, hit me hard, sending me flying and coughing up blood, but my demonic spirit energy shielded me. I held on, waiting for the next chance. I absolutely would not be defeated. Even covered in fist marks, I refused to fall. The Demon Emperor frowned. So annoying. I'm going to cleanse your demonic energy. He blinked forward. His ghost-like movement made him impossible to lock onto. Breath ragged, I suddenly realized my chains vanished. Behind me, a demonic spirit apparition appeared, the first spirit technique I mastered after ascending. I controlled the apparition to swing nearby. Whenever the Demon Emperor appeared, the spirit would latch onto him hard. With the apparition guarding me, the Demon Emperor didn't show himself, for now. Keeping a sharp eye on my surroundings, I suddenly swung my fist to one side, but the Demon Emperor easily dodged. He looked at my apparition with a mocking glare, annoying. That's what I hate the most. With a finger pointed, a huge crystal bowl suddenly appeared over my head. The bowl rapidly expanded, bigger than a house, then crashed down. Panicked, I tried to dodge but was trapped inside along with my apparition. The Demon Emperor's activating his magic artifact. No one escapes this ancient crystal bowl. Long Shiba's death is certain. The demon immortals gasped, declaring me doomed. My heart sank as I desperately used my apparition to prop up the bowl, but it pressed down like a mountain, unmoving. The Demon Emperor sneered, "Your apparition's useless." Fearful I might trap him, he sealed me first. A tragic resolve filled me. Long Shiba would die in the demon realm, yet I refused to surrender. I kept struggling with the apparition, and the Demon Emperor coldly approached, taunting, "You forced me to use my magic artifact, the first in centuries. You should be honored to die. How should I kill you? Beheading? Cutting off limbs? Not satisfying enough. I'll burn you first, see if your immortal magic can withstand the triple-flavored demon fire." He snapped his fingers, a ball of black flame appeared on his fingertip, temperature skyrocketing. The demon immortals cheered, "Burn him alive." Just as I fixed my gaze on the flames, a tremendous sonic boom echoed from afar. The demon immortals were stunned, turning around. "Who's coming? So fast?" The Demon Emperor blinked, softly uttering, "Huh?" Following the sound, I too was shocked. The demon immortals speculated, "Other demon immortals? Impossible, none dare show such arrogance before the demon emperor. The sound drew closer, as if right next to us, but no figure appeared. Their expressions twisted, some even began using divine senses to investigate. But the demon emperor sneered, "You fools can't even tell when I'm fainting?" All the demon immortals immediately looked around. "This is amusing, but pulling tricks before me? You're just asking for trouble." Suddenly, the demon emperor vanished, reappearing moments later high in the sky. He abruptly grabbed at the clouds. "Another fool coming to die? Perfect. Today, I'll enjoy myself. Come out." His hand plunged into the cloud mass as the demon immortals watched eagerly. "This time, no one will escape." Yes, mocking the demon emperor with such tricks is pure folly. His brows furrowed as he tried grabbing several times but came up empty. "Ha! Impudent!" He whirled to look at me. At that moment, I was stunned. For as he flew into the air, a figure suddenly appeared before me. It was Jiang Zhoushuan. My master, Jiang Zhoushuan. She looked much thinner. Since we parted in the demon realm, I hadn't seen her. "Xiao Shiba, I've found you." Her face held a gentle smile. My heart tightened, recalling her anxious calls through the spatial rift, emotion swelling within me. Clearly, she had worked tirelessly to find me. She must have suffered greatly. I need to ask her everything when possible. Jiang Zhoushuan pressed down on the giant bull trapping me. The demon immortals gasped. She had managed to distract the demon emperor's attention. "A mere female ghost dares touch my magic artifact?" The demon emperor's expression darkened as he slammed the black flame down. The scorching fire shot straight toward Jiang Zhoushuan. Anxiety surged. "Master, don't be afraid." She turned and opened her mouth, swallowing the flames. Everyone was stunned. "Daring to consume my triple-flavored demon fire? Bold. You have 3 seconds to live." The demon emperor snarled. Jiang Zhoushuan squinted, blowing out. The fire inside turned white and instantly rebounded to the demon emperor. His face paled. "What? No harm? This ghost isn't ordinary." He waved his hand, dispersing the white flames. Seizing the moment, Jiang Zhoushuan grabbed the bull's edge and exerted tremendous force. The demon emperor scoffed. "That bull weighs 108,000 jin. You, a female ghost, think you can lift it?" Boom! Jiang Zhoushuan straightened and actually lifted the giant bull. "You," the demon emperor was shocked. "Come out." Jiang Zhoushuan shouted at me. I immediately rolled out through the crack as the bull crashed down, shaking the surroundings. The demon immortals gaped, everything unfolding in less than 10 seconds. Even more shocking, Jiang Zhoushuan had outwitted the demon emperor twice. "I'm the reason you were lost before. I'll never let go of you again," Jiang Zhoushuan said softly, eyes full of guilt. "Master, go far away. I'm here to save you," she said firmly. But I hesitated. "Be good, my treasure, keep your distance. I don't want you hurt again." Her gentle gaze broke my heart. With that, she locked eyes with the demon emperor, her expression cold as ice. I cleared my throat and stepped back to catch my breath, knowing I had to recover quickly to fight alongside her again. Sitting cross-legged, I quickly began running the unbreakable demon technique. During this time, I'd had my own opportunities, and Master must have undergone extraordinary trials as well. The demon emperor's face darkened. "State your name." "I do not kill the nameless." "Dare to harm Xiao Shiba?" "Today, I swear, it will be a fight to the death." Jiang Zhoushuan's eyes gleamed coldly. The demon emperor laughed heartily, and the other demon immortals burst into laughter as well. But Jiang Zhoushuan said nothing more. Her aura rapidly climbed. Within a 10-mile radius, the atmosphere grew heavy and oppressive. The other demon immortals quickly sobered and hid their smiles. The demon emperor furrowed his brow. "Fine. Let's see what you've got." Jiang Zhoushuan continued to raise her aura, a white light blossoming on her brow, doubling her momentum. "A female ghost not yet ascended to immortality, wielding such an aura?" The demon emperor looked on, both suspicious and amazed. He sneered coldly. "Keep going. You haven't yet reached even 1/5 of my power. With this cultivation level, you're hardly worth my time." As expected, Jiang Zhoushuan's aura kept rising. I was surprised but understood her intention. Facing someone like the demon emperor, you must unleash your full strength from the start, or else you'll inevitably fall behind. The area within 10 miles was as dead silent as still water. The other demon immortals' faces were grave and astonished, with not a trace of mockery left. The demon emperor fixed his gaze on Jiang Zhoushuan when suddenly 9 golden spiritual lights erupted from her body. "Ha! What's this?" His expression shifted, and he roared in fury. "How dare you try to fool me?" Before I could react, the demon emperor's eyes turned icy as he bellowed, "Don't think you can pull tricks. Show yourself." He swung his palm out with tremendous force. I glanced over, but Jiang Zhoushuan had vanished silently without a trace. What kind of technique was this? I had never seen anything like it. Suddenly, a rumble rolled from the horizon. The clouds churned violently as 9 golden phoenix shadows appeared. The phoenixes were majestic as if they were their true forms, their aura blazing like a scorching sun, too intense to look at directly. All the demon immortals were stunned speechless. In front of the phoenixes, Jiang Zhoushuan stood solemn, like a divine being descending to the mortal realm, radiating a crushing presence. I was dumbfounded, feeling as if I were witnessing a battle of celestial immortals. The demon emperor was shocked. Heavenly Phoenix 9 technique? Who are you, to know such forbidden arts? I was stunned too. She had never shown this technique before. All I knew was that seeing my wrath, she disregarded everything for revenge. The other demon immortals seemed equally unfamiliar with the technique and watched with awe. Jiang Zhoushuan stared coldly, and the 9 phoenixes simultaneously unleashed power. One golden burst collided directly with the demon emperor. His expression changed sharply as he blocked with his bare hands. A thunderous explosion shook the void, severely warping the surrounding space. The demon emperor struggled but held firm, sneering, "Is that all you've got?" Jiang Zhoushuan seized the moment to intensify her attack. Boom! The golden light's intensity increased 5-fold. The demon emperor was forced downward, and when his feet touched the ground, the earth instantly cracked and collapsed. Boom! He crashed underground with a radiant halo circling him. Afterward, the halo erupted, illuminating a 10-mile radius as brightly as daylight, pulverizing rocks to dust. When the explosion settled, a massive crater a mile wide had formed. All the demon immortals focused their attention on it. Miraculously, the demon emperor stood intact inside the crater, though blood trickled from his mouth and his clothes were tattered. He looked disheveled. I was shocked. The other demon immortals let out sighs of relief. With a sinister grin, the demon emperor said, "Too bad you lack a physical body, or this technique might have troubled me. But now? It's just a mere annoyance. Heavenly Phoenix 9 technique, guess you won't get a second chance, huh?" His words barely faded when 9 phoenixes behind Jiang Zhoushuan pushed forward again, creating an even larger golden halo that slowly covered the sky, pressing down on the demon emperor's head. At that moment, I noticed Jiang Zhoushuan's face was slightly pale. Obviously, she was overexerted but still refused to relent. I felt a pang of sympathy. If I could return to the mortal realm, I would find her a physical body. The demon emperor snorted coldly and darted out of the crater to evade the halo. Jiang Zhoushuan's eyes were icy as she accelerated the halo's descent. Boom! The moment the demon emperor stepped out of the crater, the golden light struck him. He roared furiously, "Come on! Again! Let's see what else you've got!" Raising both hands high, he stubbornly resisted the barrage of light. The earth-shattering clash churned the void like stormy waves. The demon immortals hurriedly withdrew. When the chaos subsided, the demon emperor returned to the deep crater, his face grim and an increasing trickle of blood from the corner of his mouth. Then suddenly, he surged into the air, rushing directly at Jiang Zhoushuan. A fair fight. Now it's my turn. I want to see if this is truly the Heavenly Phoenix 9 technique. The demon emperor formed hand seals, and behind him, a surge of black demonic energy erupted into a monstrous lizard shadow. The lizard was as tall as a 5-story building, its eyes bigger than a person's head, vivid and terrifyingly imposing. Was this the demon emperor's manifested form? All the demon immortals were stunned. Even I was shocked. No wonder I had failed to harm him earlier. The gap was simply too great. The lizard form rose and opened its bloodthirsty jaws, aiming to shred the phoenixes behind Jiang Zhoushuan. A piercing cry came from the phoenixes. One's head was torn off and vanished into the heavens. Pins of starlight began to fall from the sky. Jiang Zhoushuan's face grew even paler. The demon emperor sneered wickedly, "So this really is the Heavenly Phoenix 9 techniques? But it's far too fragile." The lizard's spectral form struck again, biting through the heart of the second phoenix. The phoenix's phantom dissolved into starlight and vanished. Jiang Zhoushuan coughed, forcibly controlling the remaining 7 phoenixes to launch a counterattack on the lizard. But the lizard's body was strong and sturdy. The claws of the 7 phoenixes couldn't inflict any damage. Instead, 3 agonized screams rang out as 3 phoenixes disappeared. Only 4 phoenixes remained, and even in the air, Jiang Zhoushuan wobbled precariously. "Die for me!" The demon emperor laughed madly as the lizard's phantom swiped its claws repeatedly. 4 cries of anguish echoed. The expressions of the 4 phoenixes turned to disappointment and reluctance before disappearing. All 9 phoenixes were destroyed, and the abnormality in the world returned to normal. Jiang Zhoushuan's face was deathly pale, nearly falling from the sky. I immediately leapt up, shock coursing through me. Zhang Jiuxuan's Heavenly Phoenix 9 techniques had been dismantled so easily? The reason was obvious: her technique had gone unused for a long time and was forcibly deployed. Coupled with her weak constitution, she couldn't harness her true power. Otherwise, at her peak, her might wouldn't have been any less than the Demon Emperor's formidable manifestation. The Demon Emperor laughed uproariously and guided the lizard's form to attack Zhang Jiuxuan again. Zhang Jiuxuan dodged 100 meters away, took a deep breath, and traced a golden-green sword silhouette in the void. It was my Thunderstrike bamboo sword. The sword hovered in midair, its sharpness now 5 times greater than before. I was utterly stunned. Zhang Jiuxuan swung the sword, and in an instant, thousands of sword lights burst forth, a white light igniting between her brows. Still want to struggle? The Demon Emperor sneered coldly. Fine. I'll play along. He led his manifestation in a fierce assault. Zhang Jiuxuan was about to counter when her expression suddenly changed. She coughed and was forced to evade. I was surprised. She had clearly suffered severe injuries earlier. Ha ha ha. I shattered your Heavenly Phoenix 9 techniques and wounded you badly. You coward, how boring. No one in the demon realm can match me. I am invincible. The Demon Emperor's laughter echoed incessantly. The demon immortals were energized, and I rushed up anxiously, my injuries significantly eased. Zhang Jiuxuan's eyes fixed deadlocked on the Demon Emperor. I told you, we will fight to the death. Before she finished, her fingers wove a complex seal, as if trying to forcibly activate a powerful technique. Suddenly, a cold, merciless voice echoed from the prison. Who would have thought a little lizard would come this far? Let me see just how invincible you truly are. The voice vibrated throughout the prison, causing the ground and air to quake violently. The demon immortals were stunned and baffled. Clearly, they hadn't expected anyone inside the prison, let alone someone bold enough to openly address the Demon Emperor by name, an act of pure defiance. All the demon immortals fell silent in fear. Zhang Jiuxuan paused, subconsciously glancing toward the far end of the open prison. Compared to the others, I was filled with astonishment and sorrow. The voice was hoarse and cold, each word sharp as ice shards, icy, ruthless, utterly devoid of feeling, as if completely losing oneself. Though I'd never heard her original voice, I was certain this was not her true form. This meant she had likely fallen into demonic madness. Once that happened, she could no longer be the person she once was. I had helped her again, but I hadn't imagined she'd come to this. Truly heartbreaking. It's a helpless matter. Every time I met her, she was desperately cultivating in terrible conditions, sprinting urgently towards some goal. Problems were inevitable. But was it worth it? For whom was she fighting so hard? What shocked me even more was that I thought she aimed to seize the Demon Emperor's throne and held a status nearly equal to his. But now it seemed otherwise. If their statuses were equal, why did she call the Demon Emperor a little lizard? The Demon Emperor had just laughed, but suddenly his expression shifted. He stared at the prison gates, his pupils constricting fiercely. I didn't expect there was someone in the prison. Who dares to impersonate? Show yourself. His voice thundered through the air. In an instant, terrifying demonic energy spewed from the prison gates, cold, merciless, like the piercing chill of a harsh winter. The demonic aura was overwhelming, stunning all the demon immortals. Then footsteps echoed as someone stepped out. With each step she took, the demonic energy inside the gate grew stronger. Black clouds slowly gathered in the sky, looming like a tidal wave pressing down on the Demon Emperor. The surprise on every demon immortal's face deepened. The little fox standing at the gate froze, watching her approach. The next moment, all the demon immortals were utterly shocked. Is she demon or ghost? I've never seen such a demon before. Her aura chills me to the bone. Who is she? She carries an aura comparable to the Demon Emperor. Their eyes nearly popped out. My sorrow deepened. In the Valley of Death, she and I had watched each other from afar. Here in the prison, we met again from a distance. For me, it was a strange encounter through space, like a message in a bottle, like pen pals. I finally saw her, yet it felt as though I hadn't. She was enveloped by an inky black demonic aura that twisted like serpents. This demonic aura shrouded her figure, her features, even her very nature. It was a clear sign of going astray in her cultivation. She was no longer in control of herself. Had she prematurely broken through the barrier? Had her cultivation completed? I gazed into the distance, my heart heavy with sorrow. How could it come to this? The moment she appeared, all the demonic immortals trembled. Their expressions shifted, they were overwhelmed by the demonic aura. Zhang Jiuxuan tightened his grip on the Thunderstrike bamboo sword, stunned. I've never seen you before. Who exactly are you? The Demon Emperor frowned, his gaze fixed on the woman at the entrance. She glanced briefly at the little fox, then soared through the air, treading step by step across the sky. With each step, the black clouds above grew darker and heavier. Secretly cultivating in the heavenly prison without even my knowledge. Seems like you're used to sneaking around. But clandestine cultivation comes at a cost. Your demonic aura has gone awry, and you might not survive 3 more days. With that state, you still dare to show yourself? The demon emperor sneered coldly. I felt even more regret. Losing control of one's demonic aura inflicts severe damage hard to recover from. There had already been signs in the valley of death, but someone chose to ignore them. One life for another, what was she truly after? The woman approached slowly, her oppressive presence daunting. Many demonic immortals trembled in fear. How dare you defy me? The demon emperor seethed, murderous intent flashing in his eyes. Fine. Let me see exactly who you are and expose your true form. Enraged, he immediately launched an attack. Behind him, the lizard-shaped Dharma apparition opened its bloody maw wide, lunging to bite her. That bite seemed capable of devouring the heavens. Yet, she hovered midair calmly, letting the massive mouth swallow her whole. Glug, glug, the Dharma apparition chewed as if savoring a delicacy, then swallowed her into its belly. The demonic immortals stood dumbfounded. When she first appeared, nearly everyone had nearly fallen to their knees. Even I was stunned. Could she have broken through early, yet still be weaker than the demon emperor? Otherwise, how could she be instantly killed with one bite? Jiang Zhoushuan furrowed his brows, muttering, the Dharma apparition is about to be broken. Ha, playing tricks before me, ha, the demon emperor laughed triumphantly. Then suddenly, the huge Dharma apparition behind the demon emperor began to change. The lizard's belly started to swell obviously, someone was struggling forcefully from inside. Though a mere illusion, the Dharma apparition had near impervious skin and bones, could it truly be broken? The scene shocked all the demonic immortals. The demon emperor was momentarily stunned, then sneered coldly. You've got some luck, survived inside my belly? Stop struggling in vain. The meat by the mouth won't let you escape. But before he finished speaking, the lizard's belly exploded. Swirling demonic energy burst forth as a figure shot out. Just that easily. Immediately, the lizard Dharma apparition began to collapse and disintegrate. Crash. Boom. Like a collapsing tower, heavy demonic fragments fell like dust after a volcanic eruption. Where once it could easily kill 9 phoenix illusions, it was now effortlessly defeated. The assembled demonic immortals gaped in disbelief, unable to believe what they were seeing. Oh my god! The demon emperor's Dharma apparition was actually broken? Did I really see that? Who exactly is she? Whoever she is, my knees have gone weak, I want to kneel. Me too. Nearly everyone thought they were hallucinating. But it was real. I was shocked too. That woman was devoured, then burst out of the belly with astonishing speed. Only 2 possibilities, either her cultivation far exceeded the demon emperor's, which was impossible, as the demon emperor was the strongest in the demon realm. Or she was extraordinarily familiar with this lizard Dharma apparition and accurately found its weakness to break it in one strike. I leaned toward the second explanation. But how could she know the demon emperor's Dharma apparition so well? The smile on the demon emperor's face froze, his eyes wide with disbelief. No! My Dharma apparition! No one can break it! Who are you? He couldn't accept it. His true form suddenly appeared before the woman, fists clenched tight, smashing forward. A punch that shook heaven and earth. But the woman had already seen through his move. The moment the demon emperor attacked, she slapped him first. Smack! A crisp, sharp sound. All the demonic immortals froze. Time seemed to stand still. A clear palm print marked the demon emperor's cheek, growing redder, and even he hadn't reacted in time. How dare you! The demon emperor exploded with rage, his face twisted into a grimace as intense energy radiated from his body. With a low roar, he conjured a ball of scorching demonic fire. The demonic flames blazed like the scorching sun, instantly driving the temperature up dramatically within a 10-mile radius. With a sudden violent motion, he hurled the fire toward the woman. Like a meteor tearing through the void, its path seemed to melt everything in its wake. Yet, the flames did not explode, no inferno erupted, not even a sound of impact. Because, with a faint snap of her fingers, the demonic fire that was meant to attack her obediently shrank, eventually settling calmly at her fingertip. The flames burned quietly, like a tamed pet. Boom! The demon emperor's fire was effortlessly subdued by her. All the demon immortals were utterly shocked. I was even more horrified. If her breaking through the demon emperor's form a moment ago was partly luck, now to subdue his demonic fire so easily, what kind of master is she? Her understanding of the demon emperor must be incredibly deep. Not only could she predict his attacks, she even commandeered his demonic fire. Could she have secretly investigated the Demon Emperor's background and specialized in countering his techniques? That's why every move hit the mark? If true, it showed she harbored an obsessive determination against the Demon Emperor. The Demon Emperor's eyes nearly bulged from disbelief, every inch of his face telling a story of incredulity. He never expected his once invincible techniques to utterly fail against her. Lucky break. This has to be just luck. You actually trained specifically to counter me? Humph. My demonic fire is infamous throughout the demon realm and the three realms. You taking control of it proves you've invested heavily. The Demon Emperor quickly regained his composure and sneered coldly, too bad, that's all you can do. Next, I will use a technique I've never used on anyone before. You simply cannot handle it. He spoke, his body starting to blur and then split. 1, 2, 3. In less than 10 seconds, 38 identical versions of the Demon Emperor appeared in the sky. Their features and aura were exactly the same, sending chills down one's spine. I was stunned. I had seen this cloning technique before, but only up to 3 or 4 copies at most. The Demon Emperor conjuring 38 simultaneously was truly terrifying. Never seen it, right? No one in the demon realm has. You should be grateful you forced me to use this. Now, taste the devil's body technique I have cultivated. The Demon Emperor snorted coldly, and the 38 figures lunged toward the woman simultaneously. It was like being attacked by 38 people at once. The sky descended into chaos, as if hundreds were besieging her, an overwhelming spectacle. Not just me, but all the demon immortals were shocked. Only Jiang Jiushuan narrowed his eyes. Cloning technique? The woman snapped her fingers, and the demonic fire at her fingertip instantly exploded in size. Fire, this is how you use it. The flames surged to 100 times their original size, like a giant scorching sun rising in the sky, causing many demon immortals to scream in agony as their clothes were burned and hair singed black. All the demon immortals scattered in panic, even my skin faintly felt the burning pain. The woman continued casting her spell, the flames grew fiercer. Demon Emperor's clones approaching her were instantly swallowed by the intense heat, half of them disappearing on the spot. The flames were like their nemesis. The Demon Emperor shouted, "Impossible! How can my demonic fire be this powerful?" He never expected his usually unimpressive flames to be wielded with such devastating power by the woman. The inferno overwhelmed all the clones, leaving only the original Demon Emperor flying out alone, isolated. The 37 arrogant clones vanished. The Demon Emperor's face turned ashen, his eyes full of suspicion and doubt as he started to lose control. Whatever I use, you break it. This isn't something a normal person can do. Tell me, who exactly are you? How long have you been studying me? Speak! He roared out of frustration. The woman replied coldly, "Seems you're very confident about your past, thinking that cutting down the grass root and branch would leave no aftershocks?" The Demon Emperor furrowed his brows. What do you mean? He stared at the woman, her presence hidden by demonic energy. All the demon immortals froze, confused and unsure of what was happening. Forgotten? I'm going to help you retrieve that memory bit by bit. The woman's voice barely faded before the demonic fire surged toward the Demon Emperor again. The sky transformed into a terrifying sea of flames. The Demon Emperor roared and tried to block it with demonic energy, but it was useless. He charged into the blaze, aiming directly for the woman. Die, he growled. The fire suddenly froze, even the woman halted her movements. The Demon Emperor unleashed a petrification technique, thinking he had guaranteed victory. But the woman was unaffected. Petrification technique? I never taught you this move. You only ended up worse than the imitator. The petrification shattered instantly. The Demon Emperor could only watch as her palm came crashing down. Boom! He crashed down like a meteor, smashing a deep crater into the ground. He scrambled back, glaring at the woman, stunned. No. I did it thoroughly back then, shattered her soul, even threw her physical body into a spatial rift. There's no way you could be her. But, my Dharma form, my demonic fire, my clones, could you really be her? For the first time, the Demon Emperor showed fear, his eyes trembling. Hearing his disbelief, I was completely stunned. At that moment, I suddenly recalled how, when Jiang Jiushuan and I were chased by the Golden Bell Master into a spatial rift in the Demon Sea, Jiang Jiushuan discovered an ancient female corpse. Jiang Jiushuan was surprised, mentioning that the bone structure was extraordinary. I grew curious about whose remains they were. I had thought that was just a coincidence, but now, the continuation has surfaced. From the Demon Emperor's uncharacteristic slip, I vaguely discerned the identity of that corpse.